to you seem lack credibility. Would that be a fair synopsis of what you testified to?
Yes.
And I think you said there were elements of her testimony that seemed to lack credibility. One of them was what happened with Deane, correct? Now, based upon the information that you were provided by Mr. Deane, the text message you saw from Kelly Cass to Mr. Deane, and your interviews with Kelly Cass, did you conclude that there really was a violent altercation at Kelly Cass' house? And did you feel that Ms. Capps was accurate in her testimony that nothing happened that night during her I-8 interviews with you?
No.
Okay, so you felt she was being untruthful with you?
Yes.
Okay. Now, were there any other elements of her testimony you felt were untruthful or lacked credibility?
Not that I can recall.
Now, you testified that, forgive me if I'm misstating this, I don't mean to. You were testifying about the circumstances leading up to the arrest of Stephen DeHutt. Do you recall that?
Yes.
Okay. You, I believe, gave testimony on direct examination that Kelly Capps told you that elements of the police report that Mr. Deane wrote, the charging affidavit Mr. Deane wrote, weren't accurate, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Did you believe her denials that the police report was accurate? Or strike that. Did you believe her denials that elements of the police report were inaccurate?
I didn't believe that she was being truthful about it, no.
Now, Ms. Capps also told you that she felt that Mr. Deane had a motivation for facilitating their arrest of Stephen DeHutt that went beyond just trying to ensure her safety. Would that be fair to say?
Yes.
And I don't remember exactly what you said. So can you share with me what she told you that motivation was on the part of Mr. Deane?
I believe she said that she felt that Deputy Deane wanted to get closer with him, be closer friends with him.
Now, did you believe Ms. Capps in that element of her testimony?
No reason not to.
Okay. So did you credit that testimony? Credit that testimony.
Credit that testimony?
In other words, did you utilize that piece of testimony and draw your conclusions in the IA investigation?
It was part of it.
Didn't Ms. Deane, I'm sorry, using names, didn't Ms. Capps testify during IA interviews with you, and one or more of them, that she and Travis Deane were just friends?
Yes.
That there was no romantic interest with her involvement between them?
Yes.
Did she provide you with any evidence at all, any information that suggested to you, or I'm sorry, to her, that he wanted something more than just a friendship or relationship?
Other than the fact that he made the comment that he was going to marry her one day, and they called each other hubby and wifey.
Didn't Ms. Capps explain that the hubby and wifey thing was just a joke?
Well, that's the way she explained it.
So she explained it as a joke?
Yes.
And she explained that it was just no big deal between friends?
Yes.
And then she explained that she didn't think Mr. Deane was being serious when he made the alleged comment, "I'll marry that girl someday"?
I don't recall if she said he was being serious or not.
Well, did she ever indicate to you during any interviews or perhaps off the record that Mr. Deane had made any romantic overtures to her prior to having Mr. DeHutt arrested?
No.
Okay. No roses, no notes in her car, no?
No.
No requests for dates?
No.
Okay, so She said that she thought Mr. Deane wanted to move their relationship to a romantic level, but she didn't provide any evidence to support that proposition. That be fair to say?
Correct.
Okay. Now, so would it be fair to say that she thought that Mr. Deane wanted to get Mr. DeHutt out of the way and used an arrest as a means to effect it?
That may be her opinion.
Was that your opinion?
I couldn't form an opinion on that or not.
Very well. Now, Mr. Deane gives the text message around about December 11th, I think it was, about Stephen DeHutt hitting Miss Capps, right?
Yes.
2 or 3 days later, he goes to the Pearson family restaurant and sees bruises on Miss Capps, right?
Yes.
Okay. And you testified that, well, let me ask you this. At this point in time, did he have probable cause for an arrest?
Given the statement that you provided, that she was struck in the face and the bruises, yes.
Okay. Now, during direct examination, it seems like you were questioning why Mr. Deane inserted himself in this situation and made efforts to facilitate the arrest of Stephen DeHutt. Would that be a fair thing to say?
Question why he asserted himself?
Why he, in other words, why he didn't farm the matter out to somebody else to handle? Let me rephrase that
Yeah,
question.
rephrase it.
Clear. That's fine. What is your concern with respect to the manner in which Travis Deane handled this situation with Kelly Capps and Stephen DeHutt?
Well, the issue comes into play when he's having a conversation with his sergeant and he's not completely honest with him about all the details of the relationship.
Okay. Now, we agreed that Travis Deane told Sergeant McGuire that he and Ms. Capps were friends, right?
Yes.
And we agreed that Sergeant McGuire then asked Mr. Deane a series of questions such as, is she your girlfriend? Are you sleeping with her? Do you want to sleep with her? Questions of that nature, yes?
Yes.
And Mr. Deane responded no to all those questions.
Correct.
And that based upon that, Sergeant McGuire told him, do your job, you can handle the report, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, if I'm remembering correctly from your direct examination by Ms. Jones, you felt it unusual that Mr. Deane did not tell Sergeant McGuire that he and Kelly Capps were Facebook friends, correct?
Yes.
Now, and that he had not mentioned that Kelly Capps had been to his home on one occasion, correct?
Correct.
Now, we all have friends, right, sir?
Yes.
Okay, and your friends go to your house, right?
Sure.
And you go to your friend's home sometimes, correct?
Yes.
Now, do you think that would be something that if you tell another deputy, I'm friends with them, is it okay if I'm involved in this investigation? Do you think it would be a normal assumption that if Deane and Capps are friends, that they might, one time or another, have been to each other's residences?
Well, that would be fine, but the way it was put to Sergeant McGuire's, they were just friends through the Pearson Family Restaurant, nothing more.
Well, you just testified that they said they were friends.
Well, they were friends, yes.
Okay, well, you agree with me, sir, that friends sometimes go to each other's homes.
Yes.
And so it's not really that unusual that Mr. Deane didn't draw a red flag about the fact that Kelly Capps had been to his home on one occasion.
I think we could both agree that it would be important for him to tell his sergeant, you know, this girl came over to my house. Obviously, he didn't tell her that she was there attending a party. But I think it's important that he discloses that to his sergeant.
What difference do you think it would make in Sergeant McGuire's mind that if Deane had told Sergeant McGuire that, oh yeah, and she's been in my house once?
Well, I think it would raise a concern with Sergeant McGuire fact that she's been to his house, they have a closer relationship than what he initially said.
Well, they were friends. There's no evidence they had a closer relationship, correct?
Yeah, but the way it was posed to Sergeant McGuire was that he was friends with her from the restaurant.
All right. Now, and you also had a concern about them being, about you not mentioning that they're Facebook friends.
Yes.
Okay. Well, are you on Facebook, sir?
No.
Yeah, me either. Let's, are you familiar with Facebook?
Somewhat.
Okay. Would you agree that people typically put their friends on their Facebook page?
Sure.
If they have one?
Mhm.
Okay. Now, and Ms. Capps explained the honey and whitey thing as just being a joke, right?
Yes.
Okay. Did Mr. Deane speak to you about the issue of the honey whitey comments?
I believe he did.
And he also testified that this just a joking around, that wasn't anything serious?
Yes.
No evidence of any romantic relationship at any time between Kelly Capps and Travis Deane?
No.
Let's talk about the deer pond. Kelly Capps is the witness that told you that Mr. Deane gave permission to play beer pong on the car, patrol car, right?
Yes.
And nobody else told you that, not letting saw it.
This has already been covered before in the same exact questions that were asked a while ago.
You could have answered that now.
Just trying to.
That a yes?
Yes, nobody else had told us that.
Okay. Now, let me show you this.
Can we get an idea how much longer, because I think some people in the room might need a break.
I'll be done in about 5 minutes, right, or less. Do you have
We
this?
do need a break.
Would you mind sharing, sir? I did make my comments.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, wait. You good? Okay. Sir, I show you a document that, as in my understanding, is part of your A file. Do you recognize that document?
I don't know if that's part of our file.
You remember seeing it before, sir?
I remember hearing about it.
Not in our file.
No.
You remember discussing that document with Travis Deane at all?
I remember a discussion that, in his statement, he was talking about this, yes, but I don't remember him providing this.
Okay. Well, I'll save that for Ms. Capps. I have no further questions for this witness at this time.
I have about 4 quick.
Okay.
Okay, quick.